It is kind of like a private, like, viewing.
Welcome back with another banger. It's the React Files. Let's get straight to it.
So I was TikTok the other day of these people getting a tour of the Capitol building in Washington, D.C. And they went down to the basement level and there's a room called the Senate bath. And there's literally a bathtub. I was just thrown off by, why is there a bathtub in the Capitol building? Why is it called the Senate bathtub? The origin of it was the mid 1850s after indoor plumbing was installed in the Capitol. Several luxury bathing rooms were added just off the Senate chamber. At the time, Washington, D.C. was still swampy and dirty. What's changed? And most boarding houses where senators stay had no running water or bathing facilities. So the Capitol put in a bunch of bathtubs in the Capitol building. And so these senators, before hearings and stuff, they would go and take baths.
Wild.
And then after like modern plumbing and all that stuff, they got rid of all the bathtubs, but they kept one.
Yeah.
And it is a single block of Italian marble imported.
I just found something on my bucket list now.
Take a bath in the Capitol building.
Yes, absolutely.
If you are somebody who is impacted by the government shutdown that is threatening your SNAP benefits, here is one way that you can get access to free groceries that most people don't even know exist. Hi, my name is Beverly. I'm a COO and your Chief Empowerment Officer. And the program is the Emergency Food Assistance Program through the USDA. All 50 states, including DC and Puerto Rico, have TFAP distribution programs happening right now, but most people have never even heard of it. The biggest thing is that this is not charity. This is the USDA redistributing American-grown food that has already been purchased from farmers. Once accepted into this program, you get monthly boxes that include meat, dairy, eggs, fresh produce, canned goods, rice, pasta, juice, peanut butter. It's basically a big box of essentials, and it's completely free if you qualify after application. Here's the thing about qualifying. The income limits are way higher than SNAP. You can make up to 300% of the poverty line. Once you're in, they'll send you these packages monthly, or they will direct you to distribution centers where you can pick them up monthly. And it doesn't compete with SNAP. So even when the government comes back online, whenever that will be, you can still keep the program as long as you meet the income requirements. Go to USDA.gov, or you can just use a search engine to find the Emergency Food Assistance Program. It'll let you click on your state and it will tell you the distribution centers that are in your area. It walks you through how to apply so that you can get access to these resources now. And if you know any seniors who are struggling with food costs, definitely share this with them, because a lot of seniors qualify even if they are on Social Security and they don't even know. These programs are hidden in plain sight and funded by your tax dollars. Hopefully this will be a resource that is beneficial to you and will help you get access to the groceries you need.
I'm praying that none of y'all got to go through anything like this. But if you are, here's a resource. Make sure you go check out Beverly Dines. She posted part 2, so you could go check her out. Get with that application. Food that's already been bought by the USDA from the farmers. So hopefully it helps you out.
The rule today is dishonesty is the rule and honesty is the exception.
See, I would hate to believe that.
You can hate to believe it, but if you don't believe it, you're a fool.
I don't think that's the norm, though. I mean,
If you're talking strictly about quantity of people being honest versus quantity of people being dishonest, maybe you could come up with a statistic balance that would show that maybe 51 or 52% of the people are honest and 48 are shady. But the few that really control things are not honest, and they count for more votes than the extra ones who might be honest. Do you know what I mean?
I know what you're saying, but who would those people be?
I don't think we have an honest president. I don't think that he is surrounded by honest people. I don't think that most of the people in Congress or in the Senate are honest. I don't believe that they are honest people. I believe that I'm right. I believe they are dishonest. I believe we have allowed them to be the way that they are. We have voted them in. We got them in there, and we're letting them do it because we're not honest enough to face up to the fact that we are owned and operated by a bunch of really bad people. The situation that we have right now is a cartoon president who is an actor. The guy is an actor. They should have given him an Academy Award and let it go at that.
Is that a bad thing to be an actor? Can an actor have a line?
If you are an actor, and you want to act, go do it. If you're an actor and you want to be the president of the United States, have something going for you more than your acting ability. I don't believe he has the intellectual substance to back up what he says, because his lines are manufactured for him. He is surrounded by people who feed him information, not all of it good, in fact, most of it bad. And he sits there and acts it out. He's reading the teleprompter. He's a teleprompter president.
I knew I wasn't the only one that thought something weird with Elon. Listen to what Candace Owens was saying about Elon Musk and two other people. Whoever these two people is, listen to this shit.
Telling you, I don't even think these people are human. Like, I look at Elon Musk and Sam Altman and Peter Thiel, and I'm pretty sure they're hybrid. You know what I mean? Like, they just look like an Apple software that I should be able to download at night, you know? Like, when my phone's getting an update or something. It's something in the eyes. Like, I don't know. I'm like, I know I'm human, but I don't know if I stabbed you if you bleed, you know? I'm not going to stab them. But I don't know if they bleed all the way.
Brother, I didn't say it before. Y'all got to think about it. She's around these people. So if anybody know, she would know, right? What do y'all think? Let me know down below in the comments.
Yeah, it's something we've been seeing for years. I think Candace is just now coming around. Shout out to Zay Reacts.
This place is the weirdest place ever. Ever. I will die on that hill. You get there and you think this is the only one of these things. There are 12 perfectly carved buildings that are into the mountain. And just like in India, you cannot make a mistake, and there are none, like it was laser carved, which is ironic because these guys made it. We don't know who originally built it. We don't know where all the rubble from carving this stuff went, and we don't know what tool they used. All we have are clues from other ancient quarries like Japan. The oldest stuff on this planet uses whatever tool that was. The Inca call this style Hananpacha. You can see the stuff on Machu Picchu and Al-Aqsa Mosque, the Dome of the Rock, the most holy place on earth, right up the street from the oldest parts of Jordan where Petra is. This makes Petra nearly impossible to accurately date. This building was carved at the same time as this building, allegedly. The place is so heavily eroded, I had to put a line on every man-made cut on this part of the mountain. We don't know what this was. What was that used for? Even at the treasury, how do we know that this is not just a really eroded that? And here's why we don't know. Because under the main part of the treasury, there's a 2-story we don't know under it. Only 15% of this place has been excavated. You can still see the ones that haven't, but did you see the one up here? There's hundreds of these. I haven't even talked about the mysterious stuff. Jordan is an incredible place to visit. I make these videos because the more attention these sites get, the more they excavate. Punch the share button. Tell them we want to dig more.
Share. Dig, baby, dig. Shout out to baseforge.us. Another great video. So only 15% has been excavated. That's insane. For all we know, it could be a whole city right there. It's as if the rocks were melted. I know they say it's eroded, but it makes you wonder about that flood.
This was an electric quick service station for electric-powered taxis in 1940. The fleet of taxis would just pull up, and they would quickly swap out the battery, almost like a NASCAR pit crew. It's funny, they had fleets of electric vehicles, electric taxis like this, electric trucks, so much. I went to the Museum of Science and Industry this spring in Chicago, and they had a whole wing of the history of the automobile. Not one of these electric vehicles were shown. Just the reintroduced technology from today, like the Teslas and stuff. Nothing on these electric trucks here. Nothing on these electric buses. It's like they didn't want you to know the capabilities and power of the past. And the parasites can keep on charging as a premium for the petroleum-based vehicles. Question everything, friends. Until next time.
If I showed this anywhere else, like when it was the precinct, a cop precinct, they built it for a fortress so the criminals knew they meant business. But if I show this, like, no, that's a castle. It's the Belvedere Castle. You know? Make it make sense. If I said this was a bank, you'd be like, no, that's what banks did back then. So it showed fortitude and blah, 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 BS. No, they're all castles. can't pick and choose which castle was a castle, which one was a bank? Make it make sense, New York City. Make it make sense. But you fools in the comments, if I said it was a bank, you'd be defending building a castle as a bank. Say it was castle motif, King Henry design, Art Deco, off with his head. Make it make sense. If this was a bank, a lot of you would be believing it. Look at those small windows, like a castle. Like I always point out. Who is this? King Giacomo? Bugged out horse again. Right by that castle. Does this make any sense? Make it make sense, Central Park. Make it make sense. This is New York City, guy.
That's crazy. The programming is real. Shout outs to Big Teats 718. I remember being younger and going to that castle all the time. Just Central Park in general. If only I knew then what I knew now. Shout outs to New York City.
So we all just got woken up to some disturbing sound all through the whole area. I just called 911 and they said they've gotten like over 50 calls about it.
Redstone. These are some old Aztec sandstones located 1 hour outside of Las Vegas. What are the ancestors saying? Or maybe what's built underneath these old dunes?
Siéntelo. 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 Águila del monte será. Se le oyen las voces como el pavo real. Se le oyen las voces como el pavo real. Se le oyen las voces.
Three-Eye Atlas's trajectory is actively changing. Astronomers tracking an interstellar visitor called Three-Eye Atlas noticed something impossible. The object wasn't where NASA's JPL has predicted it to be. It had drifted more than 1 million kilometers off course. But get this, it's not lagging behind like a slow comet should react. It's ahead, like it's fired some sort of engines or propulsion. It's mad. The brightness dimmed by 26%. Its shape isn't comet-like, it's geometric, even glowing in green, pink and blue zones. This is not what natural outgassing looks like. And scientists tracking it say it's drifting sideways at nearly 4 kilometers per second. On October 29th, Three-Eye Atlas passes directly behind our sun, meaning we can't see anything for almost about a week. If it's going to maneuver again, it will probably do it then. And scientists now know that Three-Eye Atlas is actively engaging with our sun, which is causing more coronal mass ejection. So, the outgassing, the particles being emitted, the supercharged plasma particles are causing reactions from the sun, which is basically pulling CMEs towards the object itself, right? So whether this object is actively producing these things and these coronal mass ejections are interacting with it in ways that we just don't understand or have really observed before, we don't really know. But again, this week that's coming is going to be the, I guess it's going to tell us everything that we need to know. So strap in. It just keeps getting weirder. Maybe this is alien. Maybe this is just something completely different. It's interesting to say the least.
How is it this 1965 refrigerator has more features than a modern fridge? Check this out.
Start with the most ingenious door in any refrigerator. It has special places for bottles, spreadable butter, cheeses, even leftovers, and a big picture window hydrator for fruits and vegetables. It tilts down to show you your supply at a glance. And it also lifts out, so you can take it over to the sink when there's a fresh supply to be washed and put away. But that's just the door. Think of all you can store in here on these big firm shelves that roll all the way up to you, so you can get at the food and back without moving anything in front. And how about your frozen things? Oh yes, there's a place for them too, in this big food freezer. Even your ice cubes have a special place for storage, right here. And watch how they get there. You just take out a tray, turn it over, and push. You get a shower of ice cubes, all frosty dry and ready to use.
Just the fact that the ice trays self-eject and that you can remove the veggies onto the bench and pull out the trays and see all the food inside the fridge is brilliant. Why do we not have these features today?
Yeah, they don't make them like they used to. It's definitely built to last. Shout out to Jake vs. the State. I'm sure if it's still around, it's probably still working.
They got her. They got her again and again and again and again. Who the heck is this? Who the heck are you, lady? I'll tell you guys this. If I would have went into a coma 5 years ago and woke up today, I wouldn't recognize 90% of Hollywood. What the hell is going on? Is anyone else thinking it's giving Bruno Mars? Is anyone feeling like they're turning art into some kind of demon face beauty standard that no one wants? Selena Gomez released her music video, In the Dark, 2 days ago, and it only has 2 million views. I'm beginning to see her fans begging people on social media to boost those numbers because it's just unfair. But when you go to her comments, people are awake. Rip Selena Gomez. When Selena's not playing the pathetic victim or harassing Haley, she harasses our ears. Straight auto-tune. I thought this was T-Pain. Did you know that there are more talented people on this app than all of Hollywood put together? Did you know majority of them are from the lower class? Why are we on this app begging the poor to fill billionaires' pockets again? Yes, Selena Gomez is a billionaire. If you're going to give your money, your time, your energy, your views to anybody on this app, let it be the ones in your own tax bracket. Don't give it to somebody who complains every day about being in an industry that she remains a part of. If there is one thing that you could do for me, or one thing that you could do for yourself or for somebody else today, is find a creator on this app who isn't rich, who actually needs help, and boost the hell out of them. It's time to stop idolizing people who don't deserve it.
That's crazy. Yeah, half these celebrities are looking soulless these days. Shout outs to Truth for You. Yeah, that was The Weeknd though, but he looking crazy as well. Think it's time to stop idolizing celebrities, period.
Hello. My name is Montague William III. And what I will tell you may well sound absurd, but the less who believe it, the better for me. For you see, I'm in banking and big industry. For many a year we have controlled your lives, while you all just struggle and suffer in strife. We created the things that you don't really need, your sports cars and fashion, plasma TVs. I remember it clearly how all this begun. Family secrets from father to son, inherited knowledge that gives me the edge, while you people lie sleeping at night in your beds. We control the money that controls your lives, whilst you worship false idols and wouldn't think twice about selling your souls for a place in the sun. These things that won't matter when your time is done. But as long as they're there to control the masses, I just sit back and consider my assets, safe in the knowledge that I have it all, while you common people are losing your jobs. You see, I just hold you in utter contempt. But the smile on my face, well, it makes me exempt. For I have the weapon of global TV, which gives us connection and invites empathy. You would really believe that we look out for you, while we bankers and brokers are only a few. But if you saw that, you'd take back the power. Hence, daily terrors to make you all cower. The panics, the crashes, the wars, and the illness that keep you from finding your spiritual wholeness. We rig the game, and we buy out both sides.
Now, y'all know, I don't believe lighthouses were built for no ships on the water, straight up and down. Actually, I know for a fact they didn't build any of they didn't, just like they didn't build the castles, they did not build these lighthouses. Now ask yourself something. Does this look like something that's going to be sitting up inside of a stone structure in the middle of the ocean in the 1700s? Does this look like, think about it, are you about to go and spend your time here building that just so that you can have a light in the middle of the ocean? How are you even getting materials there? How is that even occurring? Why would you even do that? Isn't that a damn good question? We can't do it now. If you told somebody, yo man, go out in the middle of the ocean, make us one of these right now. You know how long that would take? Now look at the components in here. They didn't build this shit. Look at that technology. Look at this. Come on, man. Oh, I got they ass now. You see this right here? This is like the main light of the lighthouse. Now let's just take a look at this. You see the copper wire that's going up into there. And then you got this here. And then you got like this crazy refractory glass stuff that's going on. First off, what is power in this? Who put this here in the mid 17, 18, whenever they trying to tell you they found it? Who put this here? Why would you put this here? Look at this technology. Look at this. Now, I want you to listen to what the tour guide says to my friend when she asks him a very, very good question into regards to what is power in this.
Just taking photos.
How was this power? Was the motor together with this? I'm gonna do it once tonight. And now he's just talking about. Why did that?
So how was this powered again?
Like an old clock, you know, heavy weight, which is kind of, you know.
And what caused the light to light?
Kerosene, and then subsequently gas.
Gas, okay. And where was the gas tank stored in order to be able to facilitate?
The middle somewhere.
In the middle somewhere. Okay. Would it make more sense for the gas to be closer to the actual V? And the copper wire is there. Okay.
So is spoon going down from the top?
Eventually.
So you recommend to take
I'm just trying.
So eventually I think those copper wires led her here, but let's ask us a real question. Look at everything that's set up here. Look at everything that's going on. Is somebody coming out to the lighthouse to fill these kerosene tanks up so that you can keep pumping out light? Does this even make any sense? Look at this technology, all of this stuff. Look at all the componentry and the engineering that's going into, once again, a stone pillar in the middle of nowhere just so that you can have a light. A light that looks like this, which is just, yeah, I don't know about that. I don't know. Look, shiny gold copper coil that goes right up there just so that you can have a, once again, bright, beautiful light. Who's controlling this out in the middle of nowhere, keeping the kerosene pumping? Like, doesn't sound anywhere near efficient. It's not efficient now, and we could pull it off with the right personnel and funding. But back then, how would you even, it doesn't make any sense. Look at that. Really though, no, No, and no, and they did not build this, and no. Ain't no way. You got this right here inside one of these. I mean, just come on now. Give me a break. But when the mind's blind, the eyes can't see.
Yeah, the glass work alone is incredible. Shout outs to Piper Miller 31. That's some very interesting stuff. Once I seen that copper wire, I was like, okay. Yeah, it doesn't make sense not to have the tanks next to the light itself if it's being used with kerosene. Like, and it also looks mechanical. Like, it has gears like in a clock.
Cleopatra's Needle, Central Park. Let's get into it. 1875, gift to New York City. What they send it? DHL? UPS? Horse and buggy? The Pony Express? Make it make sense. Cleopatra's Needle. 12 BC? It's an artifact, I believe. Come on, came here from Egypt, 1875. How'd they get it on the boat? How'd the boat get here? Those little crabs. Come on, man. How'd they have it standing up straight? Make it make sense. How'd they get it off the boat? How'd they get it here? How'd they get it standing straight? Answer everything in the comments. Sound off. Come on. I went to public school. Make it make sense. Come on, please, someone. Yeah, they had pulleys. We pulled it off the boat. We had trains. Well, you must be stupid, Kai. Why would you question this? Yeah, that's me. That's the comment section. Make it make sense. Sound off in the comments. How'd they get it here from whatever boat they put this on in 1875 as a gift to New York City? Does this make sense? 1875?
Are we even near a port?
Right? Are we even near a port, right? That's what I'm saying.
Did they roll it?
Did they roll it? Pulleys. They're going to say pulleys. They love saying pulleys. Pulleys. Yeah, you have a headache? Like, take a pulley. That's what they would say back in the day. They love telling you pulleys. Like, your pants are sagging. Get some pulleys. You know what I mean? Like, come on. Have a good day. Make it make sense, you know? It is amazing, though. Have a good day.
Make it make sense. Shout out to Big T 718. Yeah, everything's a pulley. That was hilarious. You got a headache? Yeah, go grab a pulley. But especially in a civilization that was using horse and buggy, how would you be able to move that? It's like you would walk by these things all the time. I'm sure these things are all over the nation. You just never stop to realize, like, yo, what is this? Right? So fascinating.
But with the referees, that's why I was just saying, as I got older, I didn't have to do all the cussing or come with attitudes. No, I'm just hitting them with logic now. Like, oh, so y'all got that email last night, huh? Oh, then they flare all up. What are you talking about? Oh, yeah, I know about y'all email shit. No, let's not forget that. I know about that. But man, look, it's been an ongoing
you're
war.
referring to emails from the league with, this is what we discussed in Whistleblower, but emails from the league that are telling the referees to officiate the game in a certain way and against certain players.
Yeah.
And so you were cognizant of that. At the time.
Oh, yeah, I was very, because to me, I saw it. And he'll tell you what I always used to say. Y'all making it too obvious. I thought he was crazy. Y'all making it too obvious, too blatant. Y'all making it too obvious. Yeah. I said, y'all want the fans to be able to watch the games, but y'all sitting up here calling a lot of these bullshit calls is doing what? Slowing down the game. Y'all want the fans to see the dunks and all that shit. Yeah. So call that shit both ways or don't call that shit at all.
Anyway, long story short, David Stern suspended me out of everybody 15 games. Everybody else got like 6 games, 7 games, shit like that. And I go speak to him like, why you do me like that?
What did he tell you?
Man, your rap sheet.
A rap sheet? Man,
look,
NBA rap sheet.
NBA shit. You want to be in the streets or you want to be in the NBA?
This what he told you?
That's what in his office. You want to be in the streets or you want to be in the NBA? You fucking with a corporation now.
Then you doing stop snitching.
You gonna leave that alone. I know who you with. I know where you live at. I know where they live at. I know when you close your eyes. I know when you wake up.
Damn.
So I'm like, and I know what they doing. He's telling me, I know what they doing. Either tell them to stop or you got to cut them off. And I'm like, damn, like how the fuck? Like that's when I knew NBA was part of the feds. You know what I'm saying? That's when I knew.
They got him in there. And the little one with the
told
little
me,
4-5.
He told me, he was just like, man, he said, I gotta make an example out of you.
Get your tinfoil hats out, folks, because this new gambling scandal in the NBA may have just proven one of the biggest sports conspiracy theories of all time. All right, now, if you're from my generation or you're a diehard basketball fan, you know that one of the biggest sports conspiracy theories ever is that Michael Jordan's first retirement was actually a secret gambling suspension from the NBA. Now, right around when MJ walked away from the game the first time in 1993, there was a lot of stories about MJ's erratic gambling behavior. Most notably during the 1993 postseason, right before Game 2 of the Eastern Conference Finals against the Knicks, MJ was spotted in Atlantic City on the blackjack tables throwing that cash around. That same year in 1993, MJ's golf partner, Richard Aquinas, put out a book that said MJ owed him $1.2 million in gambling debts from the golf course. So all of this led to the NBA investigating Michael Jordan for gambling in 1993, where he was conveniently cleared of any wrongdoing. However, what happened directly after that investigation? MJ retired, went and played baseball, totally sucked at it, and then came back like 18 months later and started his career back up, had another three-peat, and completely dominated the league. Now, sure, yeah, publicly, frontward-facing, the story is that MJ's father got murdered, and he and his father first bonded over the sport of baseball. So MJ walked away from basketball to become a Major League Baseball player in order to honor the memory of his father's name. Which, of course, is entirely plausible. However, it all was lining up with a lot of gambling and a lot of gambling investigation. Now, how does the current scandal in 2025 relate to MJ back in 1993? Well, let's throw it over to my man, Brian Windhorst, who's going to explain that Terry Rozier, when he got caught illegally gambling by the sports books and they told the NBA, rather than punish him, they just let him take a year off with an injury.
The sports books caught the irregular betting on Terry Rozier the day it happened, the morning it happened, when all of a sudden there was hundreds of thousands of dollars coming in on Terry Rozier unders for a relatively meaningless game in March, involving the Charlotte Hornets. The sports books caught it. They told the NBA right away, and guess what? The NBA, Rozier didn't play the rest of the season, and he had faked the injury, so it wasn't because of the injury. The NBA pulled him.
Now, what's that, Wendy? We have proof that the NBA caught someone gambling and just allowed them to disappear for a little while rather than punish them? Does that sound familiar, maybe? The NBA is willing to let Terry fucking Rozier skate on some gambling charges. Can you imagine the hoops they would have jumped through for Michael fucking Jordan? And this is the problem when you get caught up in these gambling scandals, is now everything looks suspicious. Michael Jordan's retirement. Do you really think that Patrick Ewing just happened to fall to the Knicks by chance? You think Cooper Flagg and that like 0.3% chance is all just luck now? Scandals like Donaghy and now this makes people question everything about your sport, including the real reason why the greatest basketball player of all time decided to walk away for 2 years in the middle of his prime.
Yeah, that's a great point right there. Shout out to KFC Barstool. Yeah, it's a well-known conspiracy theory. MJ took time off because it was a secret suspension. But with this coming out, makes it even crazier because, according to Windhorst, the betting books tipped the NBA and let them know, like, yo, it makes you wonder if the NBA is in on it, for sure. And maybe it's not just the players and coaches.
Is it possible that the infamous J.R. Smith play was all part of a rigged game? I always thought this play was odd, so I went back and I watched the footage of it, and look who I saw while watching the footage. You know who that is? So that's Damian Jones, who's obviously in the middle of this massive NBA gambling scandal. So I'm just observing, I'm not insinuating, I'm just watching the footage. All I see is Damian Jones sitting right behind J.R. Smith after one of the most infamous plays in NBA history. And then you kind of see right here, this coach whispers something in his ear, and then he gets up, and then you'll see here, Jones kind of peeks his head in. And I'm just observing, that is all I'm doing. And then eventually they come out of overtime, and, you know, that's kind of the last we see of Jones, and obviously the Warriors win this game. And I always found this clip interesting, too. It's J.R. Smith talking about what happened on that play. 7 foot, he stick his hand up and pretty much he says, I got another dude. You know, I didn't have a good shot. Right. What did you want me to do? What else am I going to go with the ball other than dribble it out? Pump fake, go up on KD, block my, and then what? And it's also worth mentioning that this was Jones last year with the Cavs. So I'm not going to sit here and say that this particular game was rigged, but I will say if you think that Jones and Billups and Rozier were the first people to ever get involved in throwing a game, I don't know what to tell you, brother.
I think everyone's going to be looking at all the videos now when it comes to the NBA. I remember this like it was yesterday. I still couldn't put my finger on it. Now that all this stuff has come out, anything is possible. Shout out to Mike Dodino.
This video is about to get a little dark and a little deep. Stay with me. You don't own your children. The system do, and is connected to their birthdays. Anytime you celebrate your birthday and blow out these candle lights, it represents you blowing out your eternal light. Your eternal light represents your spirit, which lives in your heart. Everything will start to make sense once you understand the spell, the hex, the curse of the language. You know how people say you can't have your cake and eat it too? What if I told you there's a demonic meaning behind that shit? Everything, I mean everything, is connected to the goddess giving birth to all of us. So when they say you can't have your cake and you eat it too, let's connect the dots. The word placenta means flat cake. Yes, placenta means cake. So when they say you can't have your cake and eat it too, they are speaking about the goddess. You cannot give birth and take your placenta with you. You can't have it. It belongs to the system. Everything in this reality is just a game. When a woman is pregnant, the game starts. Press play. And when the game is over, meaning when we die, press eject. The so-called elite laugh at us because we don't understand the difference between real and fake or real. Why do you think the hospital give your child so many shots or vaccines when they're born, and then they put them right into the school system? You have to understand that the Matrix is nothing but a system, and it want our children. They understand that one day this child will be grown, and everything they learn from their childhood is going to be their adulthood. They look at us like we are stocks and bonds or some type of animals. And every time you celebrate your birthday and you blow out these candle lights, you are blowing out your spirit or your eternal flame. We all have a flame. That's why they call it birthday, because every time you celebrate it, you go all the way back to the day you was born. And all they had to do is press play on the mother's womb and the game start all over again. They say life is all about growth, right? But if you celebrate the same birthday over and over, there is no growth. Once we understand the language, we can crack and break every rule in this system. I remember when I was young, our mom and dad can beat us. Now you can't even discipline your child without the system coming to take them. We call our mom and dad our parents, but look at the language. The word parents just mean rent, because these two people are just renting our physical body. They're going to rent us until we are old enough to go into the Matrix or the school system.
I'm not saying the moon landing was faked, but there's an argument that it's impossible for humans to leave something called the Van Allen belt. Okay, the Van Allen belt is this electromagnetic field that protects us from cosmic radiation. So that the belts themselves have heavy radiation. So if you go into it, you die. But also if you leave the Van Allen belts, there's nothing to protect you from cosmic radiation, so you could die as well. So some scientists actually believe that it's impossible to leave Earth. Okay, we'll just die. I don't know how they were able to do this. And as you may know, right now, a lot of countries, America, China, are trying to get back to the moon. They're having a really hard time. Okay, they're having a hard time because NASA lost all the technology, lost all the footage, lost all the data. Oops. Oh well. Okay. So how was NASA able to keep this secret? Well, guess what? A lot of their most important people were Freemasons. Okay, this is Buzz Aldrin, one of the 3 astronauts. He was a Freemason. Okay. John Glenn, the first American to orbit the Earth, was a Freemason, 33-degree Mason, okay?
That's a wrap. Hope you enjoyed the deep dive. If you enjoyed this video, please consider to give it a like, subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to hit that notification bell. Shout outs to all the reactors. Thanks again. Till next time.